There we go.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Roundup, where we cover the Toronto Blue Jays, and we are going to be talking about the series that we are about to sweep the Yankees in, because the Jays are up 3-2 in the top of the eighth. And we're going to cover up the next series where we're matching up with the Baltimore Orioles. I'm Adam. That's Junior. Junior, are you ready?
Let's go.
Hey, bada, swing, bada. Hey, bada, swing, bada. Kennedy, swing, bada.
Kennedy. We've been swinging the bat, that's for sure. All right, Junior, real quick, we're gonna get into everything. We're gonna break everything down. We're gonna show where the wild card's at. Real quick, your thoughts on the last 3 games against the Yankees. We were hoping for 2 out of the 4, keep us competitive, try to roll some of the other teams that aren't as good coming up in our schedule. But it looks like we're about to sweep the Yankees.
Yeah, so screw getting 2. Let's just take all 4 of them.
Let's take them all.
Let's take them all. I mean, and sorry if you were in our last video, we just had some technical difficulties, so we're doing it again. I'm just trying to take it down, but was absolutely surprised, to be honest with you, that we took all 4, especially after, Oakland, and we got Baltimore coming up. We're in a perfect spot right now to take over and get some room behind us and just really, fall into a bit of a comfort zone here. So I'm ecstatic right now. Absolutely over the moon.
I'm loving it. Cole took himself out. We were worried about that game. It didn't happen. Let's take a look at the wild card standings as it stands right now. Jay's picking up 2 games, going from 3.5 game back, picking up those games against the Yankees. Now we're 1.5 game back. And then a little switcheroony there on Yankees and Sox, because Yankees had that upper, I believe, when we started off this series.
Yeah, the Sox are funny. They're up or they're down. They're left, they're right. They're all over the place, but they're still in the number 1 wild card spot. So 5-5. We're 9-1. I'll take that 9-1 all day. And
absolutely.
Twice on Saturday for the doubleheader.
Yes, and Seattle looking better than we were hoping they were going to be with 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah, but they've been playing some good baseball lately, so we can't really fault them for that. We don't want them anywhere close to us. So the thing I do like is we do have some separation. So if we do lose a game, they can't overtake us. So I'm going to look at that as a positive, right?
Awesome. Okay, we're going to break down the laundry series, as Junior puts it, with a couple of socks in the laundry, mixing them up. One sock goes here, one sock goes there, and you find it 2 years later in a T-shirt.
And it's pink. So they just put the 4-game series. The Red Sox had a couple of crooked numbers in a couple of those games, and Sox are losers of 2 now. So they're coming in a little bit limping, and we just got to hope that the White Sox can put it together and start getting those bats going and do some damage in Boston to take maybe 2 out of 3 out of that. And then, God willing, we take our 4. Then Monday morning, we're in the number 1 wildcard spot.
Wouldn't mind that, eh?
Not at all.
Okay, and then hopefully the Yankees are limping into their series against the Mets in the Subway Series. And
the great thing is that they have a losing record against them and have given up a lot of runs against them. The Mets are 70-70, 7-3 in their last 10. So the Yankees are in a little bit of a funk right now. They're getting swept. In fact, it's the top of the 8 right now. 2 on, 1 out, and Grichuk, who had already homered today, is up to bat. So we just got to hope that the Metropolitans, the Mets, Marcus Stroman, and our old Blue Jay pals can put a charge into the Yankees and maybe take 2 or 3, or maybe even sweep them too. How amazing would that be?
Would love that. Love a little buffer, going
exactly.
The wild card. So let's take a look at Seattle here and the Diamondbacks, who are basically the worst team in the league.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And Seattle plays well against them. So
yeah, so this is a series that they just played literally like a week ago in Seattle. There were 2 extra inning games, so, the Diamondbacks had a little bit of charge in them, but they also gave up a ton of runs. In fact, one of those extra inning games, in the extra inning, they gave up 6 runs and lost that game. So, but that's the Diamondbacks. They're 1-9 in their last 10, 5-game losing streak, 45-95. We just got to hope there's a little bit of revenge in them right now, and they're looking to take a game or 2 games from Seattle and get a little more room for us too.
Take all the games against Seattle. Why not?
Exactly. Sure. Sweep them. Straight up.
Okay, Athletics and the Rangers here.
Yeah, the A's been holding. They've been holding tight, man. They're not going away.
Nope.
They're 9-7 against the Rangers. Scored a good amount of runs, but also gave up a good amount of runs. The good thing for us is that the Rangers are 7-3 in their last 10, 4-game win streak, and they're playing loosey-goosey right now. So we need to stay loosey-goosey and just take Oakland completely out of this race for us.
Yes, please. And then the best team in the last 10 games at 9-1, the Toronto Blue Jays, going up against Orioles. We had a good series against them last week. So Jays are 8-4. Orioles at the bottom of the basement here. No chance for anything in the AL East. What do you think about this?
The only thing that scares me is they're loosey-goosey right now. So they don't have much to play for other than pride. But the Jays have a lot on their side right now. They are streaking at the right time. Anyone can tell you streak on the right way into the playoffs. You can streak all the way to the World Series and lift that trophy. So we're streaking. I like it. 4 games, doubleheader on Saturday. We've got a lot to do here in terms of making up some ground and building further in that wild card and just getting some nice movement and space behind us so we can just focus on holding down that first wild card spot that will be in on Monday morning.
You got it. So let's take a look at the pitching matchups in those games, just to give a little bit more context as to why we're going to sweep the Orioles. So we got Ray going up against Ellis. Hopefully Ray is looking very good for the Cy Young. Stay to the end of the video because we're going to touch on Ray's success in the Cy Young race.
Crazy. Look at his numbers, right? I mean, sub-1 whip. His strikeouts per 9 is 11.5. I mean, ridiculous. Ellis is 1-0. He hasn't really faced a lot of quality. Spent some time in the pen. So there's no reason why a solid start, a quality start from Robbie Ray, who has had 21 quality starts this year, that this is not a W for us.
Yeah. Okay, and then you got Ryu versus Aiken.
And Rio's got to start acting like our ace. He's 13-8, but his stability in terms of repeating success has been a little bit off this year. So he needs to get everything in line, in check, and he's got to start pitching his butt off. And if he does, then when you're going into a series with Ryu, Mats, Ray, and Manoah, you're kind of worried about what's going to happen to your team in that time period.
Yeah, we're going to need Ryu to get consistent as we head into the wild card position and into the playoffs because we're going to need some stoic behavior from our pitchers, which are just going to provide that stability for our run support. Okay, let's take a look at Mats and Lothar.
So Mats has had a quiet, nice couple of weeks. Some really strong starts, really quality starts. His strikeout per 9 is nice at 8.5. I'd like to see the op average a bit lower than that, but ERA is a bit high, but still, I mean, he's been getting it done. Too many walks. That's the one thing I don't like, is that his whip should not be that high for a guy who's 11-7, which just tells me that, sometimes he tends to get out of a groove, but he's got to stay in the groove for us to continue marching forward.
Lothar's out here looking like Daniel Stern in Rookie of the Year over here, right?
Definitely Rosenbagger. Sub-7 ERA, 153 whip. I mean, he's an Orioles pitcher, right? There's a reason they're the last team in the league. But when you look at his strikeouts per 9, I mean, 8.16 is pretty decent for a guy who's got an ERA of 7. So he does have some swing and miss stuff. So the Jays got to be patient, as they have been up to this point over the last, week and a half.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then the final game of the Orioles where we have Manoah versus Wells. Really digging Manoah's hat here. I got to pick one of those up.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Manoah doesn't tend to string too many bad starts together, so that was a reason why I was really high on his start the other day. But when he does get on a roll, he tends to keep rolling. So we're looking for him to continue rolling, and I think there isn't a reason why he's not going to. So, I mean, Wells, he's more of a bullpen pitcher. He's 2-1, 3.27 ERA. Yeah, he's got a great low whip. His strikeouts per 9 are really high. His K per walk is pretty high. And, his opponent's average is pretty low too. But that's indicative of a guy who's pitching in the pen. Might see a third of an inning or 2/3 of an inning, and that's it. I think he's just going to be tossed out as a pre-starter where he'll work, maybe 3 innings and then give it over to a guy who's longer in relief. I mean, it's the end of the season, and the Orioles are pretty much out of it. So I think they're going to look to see what they've got, in all of their pitchers to see who's staying and who's going.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So let's take a look at the Cy Young watch. We're going to pull up Ray's numbers here and where he kind of positions himself within the league. I mean, looking at the right side of this graphic here, I mean, I see a ton of ones here, and I know when we did a roundup a few weeks back, we were talking about Cole and Lynn, and Lynn's no longer in that race. What do you think about Ray continuing? Hopefully, he continues to get that run support that he needs. What does he need to do to really make this happen for us?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, he's literally got 21 quality starts this year. So when he comes up, there's no reason why it's not going to be a quality start. And that's all that we need to get from him, is just continue to get the quality starts. And we don't have to worry about what we're doing. He's getting a ton of run support. But when you look at his numbers, his strikeouts, he's second. His strikeout per nine, he's third. His KBB is still third. But, I mean, his numbers are just off the chart right now. So I don't see any reason why this guy isn't going to win pretty much every start that he's got. But I might be a little bit biased.
Okay, we're going to take Vladdy. Who's your Vladdy, right, Junior?
Who is your Vladdy?
Okay, the MVP watch, again, looking very, very good here. Lots of ones in the AL, but, what's more compelling for me is, how he's positioned in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's the insane part. I mean, yeah, Shohei's had a great year, and Shohei pitches and he bats, but Vlad is a monster. 1 in runs, 1 in hits, 3 in home runs, 4 in RBIs. In a good couple of weeks, he'll be 1 in home runs, 1 in RBIs, 1 in hits, 1 in runs, 1 in average. His on base is slugging, his OPS, everything is just off the charts, crazy. So, yeah, when you look at Shohei and what he does, if you separate the two things he does, he pitches. If he was just a pitcher, no one's going to talk about him. If he was just a batter, they'd say, yeah, he's got 43 home runs, but what else is he doing? So when I look at that, I have to dissect Shohei. And when I look at what Vlad's doing on the field, he's an everyday player, and he's just this guy is a cheat code right now. So I'm loving him, and I definitely, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Shohei got it, but I wouldn't shake my head if they gave it to Vlad, and I would cheer, in fact. But for me, he's my MVP.
Love it. Jays up 4-2 against the Yankees.
Yeah, you gotta like that.
So not too bad.
Oh, nice little Danny Jansen walk to score a run.
Hey, that works for us.
Yeah, it does.
We'll take another one of those right now, actually.
Why not? Actually, a nice little double would be perfect right now, just to put it out he struck out. Oh, but the man of the night's up right now, Bo Bichette.
There you go. Okay, let's take a look at the Triple Crown watch. 320, first in the majors, 41 home runs, third, and fourth in RBIs at 99.
Yeah, just a hot week from Saul Perez. The guy was not missing a lot of baseballs that kind of pushed Vladdy a bit down in the depth chart. But, he does become one of only 2 pairs of father and son to hit over 40 home runs in a season. The other being the Fielders. Another Jays connection there with Big Daddy Cecil.
Yep.
Jays everywhere, man, and you love to see that. But I really think at 22, the sky is the limit for this kid. And, to get him locked up, he is arbitration eligible this year. I think we need to lock him up for life, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw everything in the kitchen sink at Vlad to keep him here. And hopefully we can retain Ray as well.
That's going to be tough, because I think it's going to be Semien or Ray, depending on what happens, or if we just decide to start spending over the salary cap and pay the luxury tax and say, screw it, let's just be competitive and win.
Rogers has a ton of money. Spend money.
I'm hoping that they're going to do that.
Yeah, let's bring the Blue Jays back to former glory, World Series, good playoff runs. We're a steady fan base here, and we want to make sure that they continue to be well equipped to handle the load, because the AL East is the toughest division.
Love winning, man. It's like better than losing.
Yeah, exactly.
To quote the great Nuke Lelouch.
There you go. All right, awesome. We're going to round up the roundup. So we want to thank you guys for watching. Please follow us by subscribing below, somewhere here, over there somewhere on the bottom. Your Junior side? Yeah, there you go, Junior.
Right there.
We want you to like this video if you can. If you enjoyed, let us know what you think in the comments about the Jays steamrolling the Yankees and going to steamroll the Baltimore Orioles.
Oreos, yes.
Oreos. The Be More Warriors.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're excited. Follow us. We're gonna be covering just a quick update. We're gonna be covering every series going into the playoffs because we will be making the playoffs. We want all the attention on the Blue Jays right now. We need everybody's support to go out there and enjoy the games. For everybody here at Offside on Bounds, I'm Adam.
I'm Junior, and we're gonna see
ya real soon.